About you, but nothing annoys me more than going to a trade show and being told by a vendor that my version of a definition of technology or my perspective or a use case that I'm talking about is the wrong one for the technology they're trying to sell me. The last time I checked, I was the customer and they were the seller. All too often it's easy to take our selfish interests and believe that everybody thinks the same way as us. And in many cases, I always viewed vendor portfolio, as one of those options where it's important to be in as many different market segments and product types as possible because the customer needs were always different. That being said, a customer is usually focused on just a couple pieces of that portfolio, and often they don't care that there's that whole breadth of product line per se. But I'm starting to think in the past couple of weeks that I was wrong in that regard, at least as far as it goes to portfolio. I think that though the portfolio needs to be disciplined and clear. And in mobile, especially that we are deploying typically more simpler phones used for email often. The next step is smartphones, and the step beyond that is tablets. That we need to look at how that portfolio of our vendor partners are there, because there certainly are advantages to working with one group of vendors or a smaller group than just basically an all-you-can-eat BYOD smorgasbord. And I think it's important to look at what the vendors out there are offering for a portfolio, and if there are common advantages as they relate to things like enterprise security, manageability, and ultimately the goal of working with a smaller group of vendors, lower TCO. I, for one, am starting to think that maybe those folks talking about portfolio were onto something all along. Because BYOD sometimes, while it's there and while it may be an inevitability, it sometimes adds a lot of complexity and a lot of added cost. And just managing it a little bit by edging a little bit more towards portfolio might have some major advantages to the organizations that implement them.